Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Scottish Sim Guy. So here we are on Riverside Farm on Saxlingham by Farm Sim Briscoe. So this is episode 2 of this play series on my own farm build on the map. So first episode we went and done a little bit of harvesting. Now we are actually going to go and get some silage dropped. We need to get some silage made, get it in the pit. So the plan is to go and drop some grass. So first field we're going to go to travel up through one of the neighbours' farms to get down and into the field. Just the way the kind of fields that I've selected, those small grass ones, through the middle of the map. One of them is you've got to go up through this farm just up here to get down and into it. There's another couple as well that aren't straightforward. You've got to go a kind of long way to get them, even though they're just in front of the farm. And just unfortunately, we've not been able to delete the fences and be able to put my own gates in. This is just what we have to do, so we'll travel down through this neighbouring farm here, and then we will drop down into the first grass field and then get this one cut. These fields won't take long, they aren't actually that big in all honesty, but they will, because they're that small, there's no point in being crops, so I will keep them as grass. So that's just a little bit of messing about to get the grass off these fields, but the bigger fields will keep as crops, and then we'll keep these ones as grass. A bit bumpy coming down there. So usually if you do watch any of my farm builds, let's plays, whatever, I usually do use the Pottinger mowers. So I wanted to try and keep the horsepower just a little bit lower to start off with, so just about that 200 horsepower mark. So the Pottingers need 230 to work them. So basically I decided to still go for a set of triples. But this way I won't be able to do 3 rows into one like you can with the Pottingers. So we went for these Coon mowers here, so this is what we're going to use. So I'm going to back myself up. I'm going to turn everything on and I'm going to get the GPS set up. Just because I'm better to use that. We'll do 2 runs round. I always like to do 2 runs. And then work direction. What we just try to see what the best way angle is. No, we don't want to go that way. Maybe it was better where it was. I'll just try to see if I can get it running as long ways as I can without too many small. Yeah, probably that'll do. There, so we are set. So front mower on and drop that, and then I'm going to put back mowers on, drop them, and then we are away. So yeah, we'll not be much left once you do 2 runs around the field with this, in all honesty. But we'll get some grass dropped, then use the merger to get it all merged together. Whether we just do some fields and then we will get some of it merged, and then there'll be another episode obviously of lifting it, but we'll see how it goes. Ideally, if I'd probably cut this without the GPS, might be get a little bit closer and get a little bit more grass, but I'll just do it with the GPS. So I think there's maybe 5 fields in about this little block here with grass, so we'll get them cut. Probably what I'll do is I'll talk for a good bit few, and then just to get them all cut I'll just week it into a time lapse, and we'll probably get them all done, because I don't think they're that big of fields, so they won't take us that long to get them done. And then that'll get us the grass done, and get it down anyway, and we can make a start on getting it swathed together for the wagon to cart it into the pit. So ideally it would be nice if there's just a little gate there, or just to be able to come through from that field rather than have to come round a long way from that farm, but it is what it is. So, but it's the one thing, I'm not bothered. Like, it is nice to be able to delete fences and delete hedges and be able to either merge fields or put your own gates in, depending on where you've built a farm, where you've placed it, etc. But in all honesty, it doesn't, in real life, things aren't like that. I've seen me have to run a long way just to get into certain fields that are right across from a farm, just the way it's set up. So it is what it is, but as I keep saying, it's all up to the map maker, what he wants to do, how he's done it. This field is obviously from where they've been from that farm we've just came through. So, but the map itself, what you guys think of it, I'm really enjoying it. The detail in it's absolutely phenomenal. So I'm enjoying playing this map. It is quite a good map, so we definitely enjoying it, and we'll see how the series goes and where it goes. All of you seem to be liking it so far, and the build as well on the channel, so yeah, we'll keep it up. Just back up here, I'll just drop this little bit here, and then swing round here, and we'll get going again. So yeah, it is not going to take much after the 2 runs round the end rig to get this field finished. Definitely not a lot, and they're not big fields, so but it's ideal. It means there's a lot to do. We're not just spending the majority of an episode in one big field. We can chop and change of what we want to do. So Fergie does. I've not used Fergies for a while on any of my Let's Plays or farm builds, in all honesty, so that's why I decided to. I was like, we'll put Fergies in, and we'll start running Fergies. Whether they stay Fergies is another story, but we'll see. So little 6S and 7S will serve as well just now. Is it missing a little bit there? I'm just going to reverse back a little bit there like that, and it doesn't want to get it reversing back away. Right. Oh. Just want to get that little tail there. Don't want to leave anything sitting in the field. Oh, there we go, yeah. So yeah, it's don't usually, as I say, use these mowers, so but so I wanted to start off with, a limited amount of horsepower in the tractor, so just thought these would do the job. You're still going to get it cut fast rather than using a single or a set of doubles. So go for a set of butterflies and start and use them. So I'm going to just reverse up the end here and start another run, because I'm pretty sure that's the way the runs are running. But yeah, so then rather than obviously go for a traditional rake to rake the swaths together, I've decided that I would buy a swather and use a swather. Used to use them quite a little bit in 22, haven't really used them in 25, so we'll see how it goes. This is just going to be a little ale here, I think, the way it's working. We'll run the swather maybe a little bit different. We'll catch the tail of this, and then we'll be a full run from down there, just the way it's worked out. I should have just cut it myself, but it's nice to be able to just concentrating, talking and not have to worry about steering your tractor. It's the one thing I do like about the GPS is, as I've said before, not having to concentrate and steering in a straight line. So I'll swing round here and get up here, switch GPS on, and away we go. So yeah, it's must admit I took a picture, which was the picture used at the start of episode 1 of the Fergie coming through the Ford with the Bailey trailer on, and the detail in it was absolutely amazing. It just shows you the detail put into the map by Farm Sim Briscoe. It really is something else. I don't think I've taken as good a picture just for that. There's just something about it. It just seemed more lifelike than being played on a computer. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this map. So as I say, I'm just going to keep this series going. I will probably maybe do another couple of farm builds on the map, in all honesty. Just do something a little bit different. Might do an arable farm next, or a newer build with newer equipment in an area that's got big fields. And I'll keep this Let's Play series going until Highlands Fishing probably comes out, and I might run the two of them together. I'll see. Obviously don't really know much about the map, so once that comes out and we get a wee look around the map and what I think I want to do, obviously being Scottish and it being a Scottish map, it's one that I'm going to absolutely want to play, so we will see what happens with that. But in the meantime, yeah, absolutely loving Saxlingham right now. Believe it or not, really weird one, when I made the farm build and decided I'll always do like to either on the Discord or on some Facebook groups that I'm members of, especially Farm Sim ones. I always like to share pictures of my farm builds, so there's one that I'm a member of. It's Farm Sim UK, consoles only, so always end up sharing all my stuff on there. The guys on there are always very supportive. End up sharing some pictures on there of a farm build, and end up getting myself banned because I'd used a keyword in my description and it was a banned keyword, and it got me an instant ban. So I've only just got back on there today to be able to share my stuff, so I had to join another couple of Facebook groups, console only ones, on Facebook, just to be able to share some of my stuff out with my Discord channel and my own Scottish Sim Guy Facebook page, which I really need to start keeping more up to date. I always forget about it, it's terrible, because this is the main place, and my Discord, and then posting through my own Facebook onto those groups. I always kind of neglect the one I set up to run alongside this channel, but we'll start probably hopefully keeping that more up to date. The channel's obviously, I only really started it just as somewhere to I like playing the game and I like showing people my farm builds, but I never thought I'd get as many followers, subscribers as I've got, but I've got a fair few, so big shout out to all of you. Thank you very much for subscribing and liking the channel and following us and all the comments. I mean, that farm build that I've done on here, the comments are absolutely mental, the amount of comments on it through the roof, so yeah, I appreciate it all. I always do have my dedicated you guys that always do comment on everything, and yeah, they get inspiration from my farm builds, etc. So the big thanks to them. Right, so let's go and let's get the GPS on here again, see how it's going. Right, that's more like it. I'll do that, I'm okay with that. So let's drop that more, stick the GPS on. drop that on. Right, let's go. Right, so here we go. So yeah, we'll get a few fields dropped, and then maybe get, as I say, get the swather on and get some fields swathed together and ready. Might be maybe an episode, well, probably two, just to get all the silage done. There's another field to harvest as well. So yeah, lots to do just right off the bat. We're just starting in August, that's one of the things. I know some of the let's plays that I've done before, I've kind of worked the farm a little bit and got the crops where I want them and started it usually around about March or April. Just to give you time to get things, silage should be getting done, that kind of April, May time. Some places, depending on how many cuts you're doing and if you're a dairy farm or not. If you're a beef farm, you might only be taking 1 or 2 cuts, might just be bales, but a lot of places are starting definitely May into June, and so when you're starting in August and you've got nothing in the pit because you've done you're catching your tail, especially the crops are ready to harvest as well, so there might well be just a few episodes just to get this all cleared up. Yeah, so let's swing round here and then lift the mowers and we'll reverse back and just leave the front one down, and away we go. So yeah, so what I'll do, guys, is I will stick it on to I'll stick it on to a time lapse, and with that we'll just run through and try and get as much of the fields rattled out as we can, and then we'll get the swather fired up, and we'll catch you when we've kind of got the majority of the grass dropped. So we'll catch you in a little bit, guys. Hey everyone, welcome back. So I've cut, I think roughly about 4 fields for silage just now. So there's another one I want to cut, but I'm not really fussed on it. There's another two as well after that that might end up just making bales, either silage or um, just make them into hay or grass bales. I will need some grass bales at some point, so I could wrap some and not wrap the other ones and leave them as grass with the sheep if I'm needing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 7S back to the farm, park it up. I'm going to grab 6S and I'm going to stick the merger on it, and I'm going to get some of these fields started and get the stuff merged. See how well the merger works. Never used it really much in 25. Definitely haven't used it with GPS. So we'll see how the merger goes. So just going to jump in the wee 6S here. Quite a tidy wee tractor, a 6S. They are smart tractors, these S-Series. Bergies. I said the 6S looks just a wee bit smarter, a wee bit more compact than the 7, but decent tractors. So I'm going to take the wee 6S here. I'd like to see a few more of them. Oh, definitely. I think Fergie's and New Holland's definitely lacking a lot of what they usually do on Mod Hub. To be able to give us variations in colours and etc. I think there's just a couple of New Hollands just come out. I've seen one. You can get the Michelin on the tyres and it's white and things like that. But nothing kind of lower horsepowered. I think it's quite high 200 horsepower in that. So yeah, I mean there are some tractor makes that just haven't really had a lot done to them yet on Mod Hub. Don't know the reasons for it. It's obviously down to modders not modding them, but considering there usually is a good lot of them on Mod Hub, so but yeah, it'd be nice to have some variations of the 7S and 6S's on Mod Hub. So I'm going to come in here and we'll unfold this and see how we get on and set the GPS up. I will 100% see it's wanting to put it out the one way, so I'm going to have to put it to swathing in the middle. Wrong button. There we go, that's it there. So that's not it swap. So, right, that's it swathing in the middle now. GPS, let's get that activated. I'm going to do 2 runs round. Yep, perfect. A-OK for that. Let's start this bad boy up. And let's give it a little bash. See how it's swathing. Doesn't look to be an awful lot there, does it? We'll see how it goes. Not exactly a big swath. So we might need all the grass fields to go in the pit and then do bales after that rather than just do some of them. That just doesn't look like a lot on it at all, does it? But we'll see. You never know. Once it starts filling into a wagon, it might seem a bit more, definitely. But yeah, it doesn't look like a big swath. But I'm then used to using the pottingers and putting 3 into 1 from mowing, and it seems to do it quite well. So and leave it, but it could well be just down to how it looks coming out the back of the swather here. But yeah, we'll get the fields done, get them swathed, get them sorted out. Probably could be that for this episode, just getting it cut and getting it swathed. And then from that next episode I'll be getting it lifted, getting it in the pit, and we'll see where we go from there. There's obviously still another field to harvest. I need to try and get that done. Might do that first and then get the silage into the pit. Yeah, could well be. We'll see. I'll plan it out later on the next episodes, but I think that'll be what we do. Definitely, still a lot to try and get done. So let's sweep this round here and lift that. Let's get the reverse back and on to the next swath here. And away we go. Yeah, don't really use these much. You don't see people using these much, especially up here in Scotland. Bit of a rarity. Big rakes, yeah, 5 rotors, 4 rotors. So I say, yeah, definitely. But not these, but tidy looking, does a job. So yeah, just thought I'd use something different. So V6S handling it well, getting the job done. So we will go up to here, stop, lift them, bring that round, and onto here, down we go. So I'll just do this field while talking to you guys, get this all finished off, and then I'll get a time lapse going for the rest of the fields and just get a time lapse going through them all, and then jump back to you just as I'm about to finish the last field, and then that will probably do us for the episode. I'll get things back to the farm and get sorted out, start lifting, and if I find I'm going to be short, then I may cut the rest, but I may just cut the rest off a camera, and then with that, it's there if I need it, and I can just get it done. Or I may cut them off camera, but then go and lift up those first, so that then you're seeing me in different fields. So yeah, that could be the plan. But it doesn't look like it's going to be a heavy crop anyway, just with the size of the swaths behind the merger here. So we need everything, but it's not exactly the biggest pit. It's not a silage bunker that I usually use. As a silage, I usually use a UK style one, so it's a smaller sided bunker that. So we'll see how we go. So I'm going to pull this up there. I'm going to set that down there. I'm going to activate the GPS and run along here, and then there'll just be a little bit to come back on. This will nearly pick up at all. Like just down here, there's not much left to do. So you're only 2 runs round the end rig, and then we've just got a tiny little bit running up there. So I'll just run up the middle of that without a GPS. But we're nearly in taking the full width of it now, so there'll be a wee bit of a tail there. But it is what it is. So down here and lift and swing round, and I'll get onto the middle of that here, bring that down, and I'll just run right up the middle here, try not to take anything from them, but I will end up just cutting into that wee one there a bit. Okay, that's what it is. Right, so nearly finished this field. As I say, looking a bit poor, but now that it showed up, we'll see how many loads we get. I mean, if I was to get 200,000 or 300,000 litres off the fields, which I think's maybe been exaggerating a little bit, just by looking at this field and how much is in the swath. But if I could get to 300,000 litres in the pit, I'd probably be quite happy with that, in all honesty. It probably will be enough, but I will get some late season bales done, and that'll give me, I'll do the whole lot again. Plan is to get it plastered with fertiliser or slurry or whatever, and get it on and get this grass growing again, and then with that we'll And yeah, yeah. There we go. Right. We'll start here. Hold it out. Get back a bit. Start it up. Oh. GPS on. Sorted, running off the big end. There we go. Steering assist is on. And away we go. Right, so I'll do one run round the outside of this slightly larger field, and then with that, we will jump onto a time lapse and get the rest of it done. I think there's another, I think 3 fields after this one to do. So hopefully, you see it's not looking the best off the back of this either. But it gets stuff in the pit, so yeah, we'll probably need it all in all honesty if it's going like this rate, but we'll see how the pit fills as we do start putting it into it. It could be surprising, but highly unlikely in all honesty. I know for talking's sake, I don't think we'll have an awful lot in. Just, it's a very small thin swath, but as I say, it might surprise me, but no, that's what we'll do. So as we get round here, guys, we'll switch it on to a time lapse. But as I keep saying, anything you want to let me know, catch me on my channel, talking to a few of yous on Discord, talking to a lot of yous in some Facebook groups and stuff like that as well, so do really appreciate the comments, etc, etc. So thanks very much for watching the videos and stuff like that. Makes me want to keep doing it, and it makes it a little bit worthwhile on my sake, on my end, when people are appreciating what I'm actually doing. But I'm going to go and stick this on a time lapse, guys, get the rest of the fields done, and I'll catch you on the other side.
Shade of doubt hanging around.
Hey everyone, so this is us. We're just finishing off the last little bit here of the fifth field. So this will be the last field that we're going to do. So we're just getting this little bit finished off here, and then that will do us for this video. We've got some grass cut, we've got it swathed. So the next episode we'll get right into getting it lifted. So yeah, we'll see, as I say, how much we've actually got sitting in the pit once we've got it in. I don't think it's going to be enough, in all honesty, so we are going to have to do all the grass fields, because I do not think that the 5 that I have here sitting swathed are going to be enough at all. So there is another 2 fields that I can cut, which I probably will just go and get them cut just to make sure I have got enough, and get them swathed, and even if I don't need them, they're sitting there, I can get them baled. So basically, it's better to have too much than too little, and I just think with the size of the swaths sitting in the field, they're not big swaths, so we're really going to struggle, because they're not exactly the biggest of fields either. Because if I was to jump up into construction here, so we've got obviously this field here, so by the time we've done 2 swaths around the end rigs, you've only got these couple of little tails there, so be lucky if there's maybe a wagon in that field. Same with this one, lucky if there's a wagon in that field. So that's 80,000 litres. Maybe get 2 off of that, maybe. So if you're lucky, so that'd be 160,000. And then we've got these 2 here. Again, maybe 3 between the 2 of them, if I'm lucky. So we might hit the 300,000 litres target, but I've always got this one here to cut in the back there, and I've got these 2 here if I need to. So we'll see how we do. It's always there if we need it, but that'll do. We've done enough for this episode. Don't want episodes, as I say, going on too long, though. I think that first episode was bang on 50 minutes for the whole first episode, so try and keep it a little shy of that. I know we are 100% in 32 minutes of time where in the video I'm talking and I haven't slowed down to normal speed, and then there's the time lapse side of things as well, so we probably could be pushing the exact same time frame, that 45-50 minutes for this episode. So definitely we'll head back down to the farm with the 6S, and we'll just get parked up, and then that'll definitely 100% do us for the episode. So again, as I always say, guys, thank you very much for watching my videos. Do really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It does help. Helps liking our videos as well, comment. It's all very much appreciated, guys. So if you can, that does help out the channel a lot. Helps us be seen more. So yeah, forever grateful for all the likes and comments and subscribers. So I must thank all you guys there, for helping the channel grow, helping for what it's actually become. It just actually was, as I've always said, it's started out somewhere for me to just share my farm builds, and but it's made me up my game. If you look at my videos from 22, my farm builds on Farm Simulator 22 till now, big difference. Whereas in 22, I actually would more likely show you the builds, and the build getting done, and put that up the fastest speed I could to try and fit it in a video. But now I spend that much time detail wise wanting to get the farm right, that on 25, I don't think I've done an actual showing you a farm build yet. It's been a farm build tour, so I've built the farm first, and then I've showed you what it looks like once I've finished it. Actually going to stick that merger. No, I'm not. I'm going to get the thing wedged now. So I have spent considerable amount of time on some of the builds. That if I was to make a video, they'd be far too long. So I do just do a little tour at the end, show you all detail I've put into it. So it's not really builds that I'm showing you now, it's more the farm build tour. But I think it does work out really, really well. For some reason that cedar has managed to move itself off the wall and turn itself round. Right, one thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, so Oxy's map, obviously, Oak Bridge, it's got farm gates built into it, and when you open the gates will sit 90 degrees with the post. So if you've got it in this instance up against the wall, it will sit up against the wall. The UK farm gate packs, they open up that little bit wider, that they go past that 90 degrees and into there. So that's why you end up with it when it's sitting flush against the building. That's why you end up with it coming through the wall, as you can see. So yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching this episode of my Riverside Let's Play series on Saxlingham by Farm Sim Briscoe. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and we will catch you in the next one.